Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We are in the third week of August 16th until the 20th, Monday to Friday, retail, low print imports, and our community spotlight. Now this week there is something a little bit iffy going on. One, there's really not that much going on, and two, the stuff that is going on, the release dates are a little bit uncertain, at least from what I researched. So this week we're going to have a little extended episode and include the upcoming imports. You know, I just want to keep you updated on stuff like that. So let's jump in and take a look. Greak Memories of Azur is releasing this week to much anticipation. This is a side-scrolling action-adventure game that looks absolutely stunning. Really gorgeous animation and visuals. The soundtrack seems to be nice too. You switch between 3 siblings, each with their own abilities. There looks to be plenty of environmental puzzles and combat in some great looking environments. I honestly cannot get enough of how good this game looks. There's even a demo up on the eShop for you to sample for yourself. I mean, I haven't played it, but I have very, very high hopes for this game. Rims Racing. Rims Racing. Rims. Don't say it, Jordan. Don't say it. You will lose subscribers. Don't say it. If you enjoy a bit of Rim from time to time, then this may be the game for you. Actually, I'm not even sure this game is releasing this week. It's pretty much got a different date on every single website, so I don't know. I'll talk about it now. If you like bike racing, there's plenty available on the Switch already, but this looks like a nice one. It could be out this week. It could be out on Christmas Day. I have no clue. Alright, let's jump into the low print releases. Haven is going up for pre-order at Limited Run Games later this week on the 20th. I know plenty of people have been excited about getting this one for a physical release. This looks to be a game that should run terribly on the Switch, so I'm interested in hearing the thoughts of those who have played it already on the system digitally. It looks really intensive for an indie game. Here, 2 lovers glide through the landscape, fighting monsters and building their relationship. To be honest, it looks lovely as long as it runs nicely on the Switch. I really don't like the box art for it though. I mean, this lady right here, she is clearly smiling through the pain. She feels trapped in this relationship, but doesn't want to admit it. This dude must be gaslighting her for sure. Anyways, regardless of that smiling through the pain, our executive producer Vilos has chosen it as his pick of the week. It was his second favorite game of the year last year, but he played it on Xbox. Neon Abyss is maybe going up for pre-order this week at Limited Run Games. I say maybe because they accidentally tweeted it, but then deleted it. So maybe they jumped the gun and decided to delay this or not, I don't know. Maybe on the 17th, there will be a pre-order for this rogue-like gem. It's a bit of a run and gun as you make your way through to the Abyss. It looks rather hectic and well put together. Heard it can be pretty unforgiving though. And to be fair, this one looks like it does have some really decent box art, which is something strange for Limited Run recently because they've had some real stinkers and still have... have you seen the Axiom Verge one that they're doing? It is truly awful, like unbelievably bad. But this one, Neon Abyss, it looks pretty sweet actually. Alright, let's jump into the imports. Remember, if anything takes your fancy and you'd like to import it for yourself, then consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you use those links, it also helps support this series ever so much. Thank you ever so much for your wonderful support, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Plus, in return, if you use our links, you can also get a very nice 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV while checking out. That's all one word, SwitchWatchTV while checking out, and you can get 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia. Thank you for your support. The big import this week is a reprint of Romancing Saga 3. Well, okay, it's not a reprint, it's a release in a different region. Before, we had the Southeast Asian version, well now we have a Hong Kong and Korean version, which includes new languages and some absolutely spiffing box art. I really like the box art for the first release as well. Both are very nice, but I just love this artwork and I need it in my collection just for that alone. Even though I have the original one, I need this one. I need both. It just sings to me. I love the classic character designs. This game was originally a Super Famicom game, never released in English until the Switch version. Like the SaGa series, it flows a little bit differently from your standard JRPG, and it may not gel with everyone, but JRPG fans, you need this. If you don't already own the Southeast Asian version, then this is the one to get. I think I've fallen in love with this truly. And by the way, it does have English, of course, no Western physical. There is also a PS4 version if you want that. In Japan, there's also Amnesia World for the Nintendo Switch, that version. It's an Otome visual novel, no English. And there's also a Phantasy Star Online expansion pack releasing in Japan, but sadly, as you expected, 1, there's no English, and 2, it's just a code in a box for some extra goodies. Alright, as stated, this week is a little bit barren, so let's take a brief look at all the upcoming imports that I find interesting, and maybe you do too. Remember, links are below, and all info is thought to be correct at the time, but of course things can, and I'm sure will change for some of these found here today, so please don't murder me if you import something that later gets a Western release, okay? There's a few people would not like that. Let's start with the big one for me personally. Fatal Frame, also known as Project Zero, Maiden of Black Water. It's getting a physical release in Japan and Asia. This was a Wii U game, an exclusive, and I actually rather enjoyed it, although it didn't review particularly well, but you know, who needs to listen to reviewers? Don't listen to those guys, okay? They suck. I'm thrilled to see this get another chance at life, and I'm 100% gonna get a physical copy of it. It's digital only in the West, but there is a physical version in Japan and Asia. Now, I know those who pre-ordered the Japanese version may have received a rather worrying email saying that actually, maybe there is no English subtitles in the Japanese release, and that maybe you should switch to the Asian version to be sure. Personally, I am not too worried just yet. Something just doesn't add up for me because it still states it has English voice acting. So I don't know why they would take English subtitles out, but I'm gonna wait to see what the Japanese eShop says when that eventually pops up on there and then decide from there. If you are worried right now, then feel free to change over to the Asian version. If you contact customer service with your order number and ask them to change it to the Asian version, then we should still get the affiliate earnings, like if you change it, if you edit the order. But if you cancel the order and then order again, we may not get it, okay? So just contact customer service and you should be fine about that. Executive producers Punky Dooster and Michael Del Polito, they've chosen this as their pick of the imports. Super Robot Wars 30 is the 30th anniversary of the amazing strategy RPG series from Bandai. Brilliant over-the-top animations that will make any anime mech fan, they get all into a flutter. I absolutely love this series, and I own 3 of the current ones on the system already, and this looks just as spectacular. If you want to feel like you're part of an anime with the crossover series of your dreams, then look no further. This is definitely going to be one of the top tier imports of the year, I am sure, and dozens of you will be picking this up along with moi. The Asian version definitely has English, while the Japanese version is not certain as of yet, so hold tight for more info on that one. Executive producer Jack Severus, he knows what's up, it's his pick of the imports. Metallic Child is a game I'm rather looking forward to. It's a roguelike action game with nice chunky graphics made by the same developer as another game I'm going to talk about later. It has all the hallmarks of a simple but fun time, and I'm much more of a fan of Japanese roguelikes than I am Western ones. I have no idea why, they just tickle me in the right way. I'm not expecting like a big budget, highly polished experience, but it's looking good in a charming and fun way. Haven't spoken to the developer, they are hoping to do a Western physical release in the future, but nothing has been announced yet and nothing has been planned yet, and that was a few months ago when I contacted them and asked them on that situation. So if you really want an ESRB release or a PEGI release, then maybe wait a while, but you know, who needs to wait? It has English, who cares? Our executive producer, Elissa, has chosen this as her pick of the imports. Alright, let's move back into the weird timeline when Cotton is actually getting 3 physical releases in 1 year. Huh? We already had Cotton Reboot, but this year, Cotton is coming back twice. Yes, firstly we have Cotton Guardian Force Saturn Tribute, which includes Cotton 2 and a slightly remixed version called Boomerang, alongside a very deep cut Saturn shooter called Guardian Force. It has English according to PlayAsia alongside its Standard Edition and Collector's Edition, and this is executive producer Robotech's pick of the imports. But that's not all. Cotton Rock and Roll, I believe, is a brand new entry in the series and tries to get the essence of what made the series such charming shooters. The art style is 3D, so not as lovely to look at, but it still looks like it could be a good homage to the series. This is coming in a standard edition and a collector's edition. I do not know if this has English or not, but it's a shooter, so it's not really essential. Considering we're currently in some sort of like parallel universe, I guess there is a chance that these Cotton games could come to a Western physical release at some point. I mean, who'd have thought that? What a world we live in now. Hashihime of the Old Booktown is a visual novel. Last time I mentioned this, a good few people jumped up to correct me, to correct quite a big error. I said it was an Otomi visual novel, but it's not, it's just a standard story. My bad. That means it may interest me a little bit more, and the cover is fairly decent too. This may come westwards at some point if Axis Games get their hands on it, but for now, the Japanese version does have English. Lyrica 1 and 2 is a double set of rhythm games, very nicely presented using an old Chinese poetry style. They kind of play like Hatsune Miku where you time your button presses, and the first one can only be played in handheld mode due to the essential touchscreen. The second game, I don't know, but I like rhythm games. These have an eclectic music selection too, so I am up for giving them a shot. This comes in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition. Smashing the Battle is PlayAsia's latest Switch physical release that's exclusive to PlayAsia. This is a hack and slash arcadey type of game featuring anime girls blowing stuff up, where most of the physics engine is focused on making, more bouncy boobage and stuff like that. I've ordered mine already. There's a standard edition as well as a collector's edition which includes a soundtrack CD. This is due for release later this year. Sticking with the PlayAsia exclusives, we've got the one before, Trigger Witch, a game that I reviewed. It's a twin-stick shooter that tries to act like a Zelda game. I really enjoyed this, although I seem to be the most positive review out there, although player reaction seems to be just as positive as myself, except those who haven't played it and really insisted to me that it is at most, definitely, 100%, no more than a 6 out of 10. They haven't played it though. The internet, people. Again, there's a standard edition as well as a collector's edition available, but for who knows how long. And executive producers Alexander Kato, Cartoon Soren, JCross7776, it's their pick of the imports. The No More Heroes Killion Trilogy is not far off now. Yes, this is getting a physical release and plenty of special editions in the West, but the West ain't getting the 1 and 2 game in a double pack like the Japanese release. Yes, this may get a separate release of its own in the future, I have no idea. It's all a little bit vague, but it sure is rather mouth-watering owning the first and second game together, not separately like the limited run release. And our executive producer God of Resin has chosen this as his pick of the imports. Melty Blood is a game I would like to review in the future. There's just a couple of problems. 1, I am not familiar with the visual novel these characters are from, and 2, I'm shite at 1v1 fighting games. But it looks like a really nice game even if the roster is a little on the small side. There's a standard edition coming alongside a collector's edition. It has English, of course. My Girlfriend is a Mermaid? Now I know what you're thinking, this already has a physical Japanese release. I've talked about it before quite a few times. Sure, it does, but I think the publisher Kosen at the time did not do a special edition, and so to mark the game's 5th anniversary at the start of next year, you can get My Girlfriend is a Mermaid. You gotta do the inflection, because if you look at the title, it's an exclamatory question. My Girlfriend is a Mermaid? Gotta get the chin out as well. The collector's edition includes a soundtrack CD, baby, a pin badge, acrylic stand, and digital art book. Funnily enough, you'll probably find this cheaper than the standard edition these days. Do you need more schlock in your life? I think we all do. Well, Fight of Animals Arena is right here for you. This is the sequel to Fight of Animals, which also released physically this year. It seems to be more of a brawler a la Smash Bros than a 1v1 fighter, but I don't know. I need to brush up on my Fight of Animals knowledge. I'm sure there's tons of lore to get through, but yeah, it looks to be a bit shite, but apparently it's actually quite a lot of fun. It has some incredible box art as well. Imagine having that on your shelf when you have visitors. The questions! Imagine the questions. Ultra Age, a game that was accidentally revealed a while ago before being quickly deleted. This is a pretty cool looking game. It's coming to Japan and Asia with English. A nice bit of action hack and slash with a nice budget behind it. These releases should have English and should be out in the next few months. I have a feeling this will come to the West, maybe even in a standard retail release, but that's just my feeling. I don't know that for a fact. So maybe hold on before ordering? I don't know. Up to you. Have you ever wanted to play a shooter like you're tripping balls? Well, this double pack of shooters will do the business. Yes, in Japan they are getting 2 shooters in one, Illmatic Envelope Swap and Radirgy Swag. I can't say that word, and I don't want to say that word. Yes, the latter has a non-existent release with Dispatch Games, but don't give the money to them, give them to Japan if you're a shooter fan, because this looks weird as anything I've seen. There's a standard edition and a collector's edition coming. No idea if that's English, but there's shooters, so not very important. Sticking with shooters, we got Toaplan Arcade Garage. Did I really just say garage? What is wrong with me? Garage. Kyukyoku Tiger-Heli, which one would assume is the first in a series of Toaplan releases. I don't know. These are some old school shooters brought to life by M2 in the M2 Hotshots Trigger, whatever it's called, lineup. This is basically one game but many versions of it, plus a side-scrolling spin-off or something. Sadly, there looks to be some funny business where one of them needs to be downloaded regardless, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. No English, probably on the Japanese version, but not really needed. Plus, there's some Western versions on there too from the NES. Battle Cats Unite. Now this makes me happy. Previously, this Japanese language only game always stood out to me. It had sideways box art and came with a nice pouch in a box. It also looked absolutely mental. With thanks to Asia liking mental stuff, they're actually getting an Asian English version coming to you. It's like a tower defense, tower attack kind of game. Lots of mini games in there too. I don't know, it looks weird and wonderful and I'm 100% buying this. Sadly, you can't pre-order it right now, but I'll be sure to update you when you can. And of course, it wouldn't be an upcoming imports episode without a special mention to SeaBed. All I want to say is, SeaBed's coming home. I think I might be rather emotional when it actually arrives. Yes, this is coming next month. The special edition is already sold out. They only have standard editions left. Alright, let's delve into the community spotlight. This month I'm going to be giving away something special, of course. I'm giving away Super Robot Wars T. Radio to Rancid sent in this photo of their cat, plus the collector's edition of My Memory of Us, which is on Red Arc Games' website. And remember SwitchWatch 10 for 10% off any purchase from there. Executive producer Robotech showed off these games. I've always wanted the Atari Flashback collection. It did get a European release, but I don't think in the UK. I think Germans or French got that one. Ash Torek picked up 2 Fan-Dabby-Dozy RPGs. Love both of these games, and I would say both of them are my favorites in their respective series. Cookie Corey got a great deal for Yooka-Laylee. I really wish this was more of a widespread release. If the side-scrolling sequel did, I don't know why this couldn't. Executive producer Cartoon Soren got the gorgeous Pode Artist Edition, which showed off the reversible cover for it. BEA beautiful. Jim, many thanks for using our links and codes on this. It is fantastic and helps us out so much. Some brilliant choices there, can't go wrong with any of them, in my opinion. Goldbat Lover picked up these games, finally got in the Razian X, which I'm still disappointed I missed out on. I blame Juan for not setting his alarm. Roran picked up some Culture alongside 2 slightly old school but fun games, Tanuki Justice. Probably never needed a physical, but I'm happy it did. That, to me, makes the world a better place. Craig sent in this picture of some good old Atelier love. Really nice series, and I'm glad to see it flourish on the Nintendo Switch. Commissar showed off their before and after jobs making the custom covers for their Nintendo Switch games. Now, normally, I'm not a fan of custom covers. They tend to just, stick out too much and look kind of amateurish. But, I tell you what, Commissar, this is friggin' spectacular. It mixes the uniformity, which I like, with a dash of personality at the bottom there. It's brilliant. Dude, just sell them. You did a good job. Starvey sent in this photo, nicely speed limit in their hands. Let's just say the distribution of it wasn't quite as fast as the game itself. Executive producer Alyssa picked up these games. I think it's rather telling that we haven't seen Superhero Girls too much since its release, not being pushed by Nintendo at all, and I don't think I've seen a single review of it either. EC, happy birthday and welcome to the Switch Owners Club. May your wallet be forever crying, the imports constantly looking delicious, and may the Steam box shine in your favor. Happy birthday. N0 picked up a massive bunch of games, including a double helping of Death End Request. Can never get enough RPGs in your collection. Executive producer God of Resin also picked up some similar games, including Empire of Angels, which recently sold out on PlayAsia. Pick them up while you can. Executive producer Brent McLean showed off some European exclusives, the Siberia collection alongside the vinyl. I think this dude has every single video game vinyl going. Steven665, many thanks for using our links and codes on Tale of Synapse. It's a European exclusive release, a rather recent one, mixes platforming with math problems and playable in co-op. Looks really nice. Rick Krolbert sent in this photo of 2 Red Arc games. Great to see hardcore mecha. It's a really fun game despite the unfortunate performance issues. Michael Wielczewski, thanks for using our links on the fantastic Legend of Mana. They also got in the fun little Songburst Symphony and a couple of Red Arc games. Executive producer Z sent in this photo, including the very obscure Yono and the Celestial Elephants, which I brought to the attention in the first episode of the Euro exclusives list. Seems to have made a fair few people want to seek it out. Gold Mario picked up these games, 3 fantastic RPGs and the classic Blasphemous. I bet this version is going to sell better than all the previous ones. That's what happens when you make things more available, guys. Joshua Brown, see? Plus the badass cover of West of Dead. Black and red just works real well for that. Matthias, see? Blasphemous always deserved a proper retail release. Plus they got in the much better looking version of Hotline Miami. TN464, many thanks for using our links and codes on Super Robot Wars V, a classic import, very much essential if you don't own one of them already. Pabs picked up a massive bunch of games, including the Terror Trilogy with its wonderfully awful box art. Really takes some effort to do that. Ron2600, many thanks for using our links and codes on a couple of these games, including If My Heart Had Wings, one of the few collector's editions they have left in terms of Play Asia exclusives. Kiel, I hope I said your name correctly, sent in this photo of some great games. Well, okay, Taxi Chaos isn't exactly great, the gameplay is there and I enjoyed it, just need a little more attitude and personality. Potential for a sequel though. Alright, let's have a roundup. Stephen Dommett, Tyson Bailey, Lars, Yvonne, Craig Morgan, JP, Neverbirth, Michael the Switch Guy, Stewie, Lord Vapor, Ashura G, Scion of Monkey, EZYZ, I don't know how to say your name, Z, Switchback, Kozai Hard, Caterpie, West Country Blue, Ibrahim, sorry that's so late, it was stuck in our spam section, Hyrule Henry. Alright, please send me your pictures on Twitter over at SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me or tag me in a post and use the hashtag Let's Get Physical. We also have an email, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com. Plus we have a Discord, which is a nice way for us to have a chat with you guys, and you can send your submissions there in the submissions section. Please just send me 1 picture per week, and the Discord server link is below. I hope you enjoyed this rather extended episode of New Physical. Special thanks to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Elissa, Punkidusa, Michael Del Polito, Cartoon Soren, Jack Severus, Vilos, Robotech, and Z. Many thanks for your wonderful and frankly amazing support. And thanks to you guys watching right now. If you watched all the way through, thank you ever so much. What a legend you are. Give me a random emoji in the comments. Any emoji you want, your favorite one, whichever looks random, and I'll give you one back. Alright, here's some of our other stuff. My voice is kind of hurting because I've been recording for 30 minutes right now, so have a good one. I'll see you next time.